Welcome, YouTube, as we are going into the top 8. Make sure you watch the top 16 if you missed out on it. It was crazy. We're going to be starting this off with 2 Mad Lads. Continue to support this video so we can keep on uploading them with the grand finals attached to it. Let's do it.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Top 8 with no hand trap in sight. Oh boy, this is going to be a problem for Rikka. Rikka with unexpected die. That's going to be special summoning our Loki. That will be pretty good here. So we're going to be adding back the Lubellion because of the banish. We're going to return it back to the bottom of the deck to then draw 1. Tracer still not locking us in the Dark Monsters as the Striker destroys itself, adding the Recharger, triggering the Recharger to then reborn our triple burst onto the fields. Huh? Did we not have a monster to summon with the Tracer? I guess because Recharger's in the grave. The question is, how do you get Tracer and Recharger on the field if you have it in the grave already? So since you couldn't summon it from the deck. Huh. Unexpected die, summoning the Loki from the deck. That's going to trigger our regain to special summon a Bestial onto the field, which is not going to be very good against plants. It's only a good counter against light and dark decks. Dry Ass is here, which will be searching for the Sowing. Sowing is a great negate for your Ash. Special summoning of not the Twin. What? Are you not playing Twin? Maybe you think Twin is a brick. It kind of is. If you open up the Twin, it's technically a Garnet. A Garnet is a card that needs to be in the deck in order for your combo to work. Huh. Petal searching for the Princess, which is a free special summon. Wait, what was I? Where did the thing? Oh, he 1-for-1'd. It was not Sowing. Yeah, they can't even do that. Okay, correction. The Twin is here. Twin is here. Twin is top tier. That is when you Ash. I was in autopilot mode for Rikka, and he threw me off by cheating with doing a 1-for-1 instead of the Sowing. Healer going to heal the Dry Ass as the Princess special summons onto the field, making the Jasmine. Jasmine, if we heal, we will search our deck for a plant. Now, the Hieratic Seal is going to attempt to spin back Jasmine. That's what I'm thinking before it could tribute off a plant to summon a plant from the deck. Now, the Princess is going to, only if we control a Rikka, tribute our monster to negate. And that's exactly what we're doing. You're not going to spin back my Jasmine back to the extra. After being tributed, we'll summon a Safer from the deck. We have Baldrake banishing from the graveyard to come forth and summon. Now, if you summon an extra deck monster, we could tribute one of our monsters to banish it. Dry Ass in the non-extra monster zone does not do anything. Goodbye, you're getting banished anyway with our hard once return banish. I make another Dry Ass. What are you going to do about it? Healer going to heal the Dry Ass, which will trigger the Jasmine to search our deck for a plant. No, you're not. I'm going to fully negate your multiple effects. You're not going to search, and you're not going to summon a plant by tributing a monster. Old negate, pretty good negate. Mudon tributing off the Jasmine to now be searching for a Con, actually searching for nothing because we're going to get negated, and I think we are pretty much screwed now. The Small World's dead, Sowing is dead. Let's keep on cooking. If you see this card, it's Desperation. It's randomly summon up to 2 plants off the top of the deck, revealing a Borea. Borea is now here. Borea is sending to search for the Colosseum. That actually worked out quite well. Now, we need... Okay, where's the Regulus, mate? We needed Borea to get in the graveyard to summon the Regulus, but instead we could do Borea summon for a rank 8 Exceed. Or we can go into Jasmine. Jasmine is not in the spot to tribute off Dry Ass. We're going to Borea add back to the hand after a monster was destroyed. Are we actually triggering the Dry Ass effect after we take damage to then summon a monster from the extra deck? Yes, we are. What the heck are we cooking? And because we gained life, that triggered the Jasmine to search for a plant. Wow, that was very well done. Keck waits. Huh. I think we messed up though. Or we Borea'd first instead of Borea add back Therion. Shouldn't we Dry Ass send Regulus and then we add the Regulus instead of Borea. Still very good. Send Thrasher, and because there's a Jasmine in the graveyard, the Jasmine on the field is going to get negated. Now, why didn't he negate the search? Because he did not know that Dryas was going to heal and trigger the Jasmine. So on the attack, but not on the activation, we had to call by the grave, finger the Jasmine to get her out of here. By the time she activated, Damage Step could not do it. Damn. It's a crazy duel. Primula, because of a tribute or special summoning, and the small world ended up being a live play. Princess is here into the Strenna. Strenna, if tributed, is going to be summoning a big Exceed from the extra deck. Recycling the Con-Con. Con-Con is now here. LMT, you are amazing with this deck. Because damn, just like tributing off Borland, grabbing Snowdrop and the Therion. It looks like the duel was over, but that battle phase play, him not called by the graving early, damn, holy moly. I mean, weren't we supposed to just call by the grave the Dryas in the graveyard? Isn't there a Dryas in there? Yeah. We could have called by the grave the Dryas in the grave, and then this whole play that you did would not have happened. Absolutely nuts. I think he thought you were surrendering, right? He's like, zero attack tree into me? That's funny, until it wasn't funny. We got Teardrop, Quick Effect, Tribute to Monster on the opponent's side of the field. Goodbye to the Baldrake. And he's still cooking. And we're gonna have Resurgent also? Like, if you care about Rikka, you should save this duel and watch it every night. Loki Reborn. I've never seen turn 2 Rikka like this just fix their field in hand against a lot of disruption. Very well done. We have Quick Effect, return a monster back. We have Quick Effect, tribute a monster. We have Quick Effect, hiding in the graveyard, Princess, to tribute an opponent's monster to negate a monster effect. If we tribute the Strenna instead, it will then turn into a monster negate. So we got about 4 disruptions. Spin back. Back to the hand. Okay, disruption. We have 3 more disruptions. 3 more. Uh-oh, Baron to floor, Baron to floor. We can negate Baron to floor with the Princess by tributing the Strenna. Disruption. Oh, tributing Baron to floor instead of our Strenna. Yeah, you know, it's 3,000, I guess. And, yep, sure. And, okay. Does the Princess destroy on negate, though? Wouldn't that be better? Only negate the effect and it stays on the field, so I guess that would be a problem. Okay, that is a problem. We did have to deal with it. So it looks like we only have 1 more disruption. Strenna was a disruption, which is not going to be applicable now. We can't use it. So it's just going to be Teardrop Tribute. When do we tribute? Now. Now we got nothing. We got nada. No disruption in sight. We had potentially 4, but we ended up only having 3. Let's go. Kill Strenna by battle. Does not activate, only if tributed. And Petal Reborns during every end phase. So, maybe we should have called by the grave the Petal before it reborned? Possibly, maybe. You did trigger my regain to resummon a Magna Hut, which will then search for a Baldrake. Now our Quick Effect Tribute and Spin Back are back in action. Con-Con is going to attempt to set up, but we are going to negate the Con-Con with its destruction. Chainlink 2 destruction onto a continuous spell or trap will essentially negate it. We got Mudon being searched for with the Petal. Tributing off the Petal for the Mudon. Mudon could search for another Con-Con. Is that we do. Regain being triggered to reborn a Bestial from the graveyard. Called by the grave, banishing the Mudon and negating it on the field, negated by banishing Mudon from the grave. Oh boy. Oh boy. This duel is cooking. This is a crazy game 1 of top 8. My Jesus. Magna Hut activating the search during the end phase. People wanted interactive Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami, and I guess they provided it with this. So if all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be more of this, this is what people want. We're going to be returning back the Striker, drawing 1. Now, we don't play Zeus in this deck, and if we did, it would be 0 material, just 1 material anyway. Now, our quick effect to tributes is gone. We have no disruption through the teardrop. We only have quick effect spin back a monster back to the hand. We're going to use the Boot Sector launch to summon up to 2 monsters since there is a 2 monster difference between the 2 players. We have to spin this back and take 3,000 damage. Ooh. Spin it back. You are not going to turn into a negate. I don't think so. Now, you could be thinking, why not Beast Tribute, pop the Resurgence so that it does not stop our Bora load? There is a secret effect in the graveyard, which is the Sowing. Sowing will protect from destruction. Chaos Angel will not be protected from the banish that happens with that. On summon, banish. But we're not banishing the Resurgent, okay? Because we want to deal some damage. Ash Blossom, negate the quick launch. Instead of quickly launching a rocket from the deck, we are going to be launching nothing as the Baldrake then summons. The Chaos Angel is unaffected from activated effects. Also, all your monsters can't be destroyed by battle. Also, your other synchros are unaffected from monster effects. That is nuts. Regained, returning a banished monster back to the deck to draw 1. Big enough to swing over. The Sowing is protecting, which was quite interesting on, why we didn't banish the Resurgent. I'm kind of head scratching on that one. The Petal is triggering the Regained after being summoned during the end phase to reborn our Druid Swarm. We summon a monster from the extra deck, the Baldrake will banish it. Petal setting up the Mood Dawn, but isn't Mood Dawn still negated? Yeah, I mean, we banished that on the turn, or no, that was a while ago. Okay, it's still good. It's good now. It's good now. It's not, that was a while ago. We're good. We're good. That is going to trigger the Regain. Look at the power of Regained. It has drawn probably like 3 to 4 cards, summoned 4 to 5 Bestials from the graveyard. Absolute absurdity. Now we're going to set up the Con, which will allow us to do nothing because the Con is gone with the Bestial Beast. Damn. Crazy back and forth. Let's go into game 2. Now, Dryas is not hard once returned, but Dryas must be summoned into the extra monster zone to activate. I think this is a good Veiler. Ooh, not Veiler. I mean, it's difficult to say because if they already have a Sowing in the hand, you kind of get screwed there. So I guess you want to be extra safe, don't Veil. Our perception changes a bit because we're watching the duel. We see the hands. Now, we got Dryas number 2 into a healer. Probably should negate the Jasmine from searching for a plant and being able to tribute to summon a plant from the deck. Right? Yes. That was good. Negating the Dryas would have been more impactful just because he did not have a Sowing already in the hand. But if they already had a Sowing, then negate Jasmine is better. Snowdrop into the Borea. Borea is going to be setting up with the Regulus. Come to me with the Therion Colosseum, grabbing the Regulus. We just need to get the Borea into the graveyard, which it now is. Tribute off the Dryas to summon a Petal. Petal to the Metal into a Mood Dawn. Snowdrop, tribute off the healer to then summon the Mood Dawn from the hand. Searching for a Con, and then we're just like, no, I don't think so. We're going to have a ton of disruption. Sheet, tribute, steal, princess, negate, Therion, negate, resurgence, spin back, teardrop, tribute, Strenna, negate. It's like 6 to 7 disruptions. I don't think so. All right. Maxi in the draw phase to play around the Triple Tactics talent. It was said in the World Championship analysis that Maxi helped balance the win rate between going first and second. While both players obviously benefit from Maxi, it was shown that the turn 2 players benefited more from Maxi out of 120 duels analyzed, putting the player going second. If they were to Maxi, on the turn they Maxi, the win rate, I believe, he said it shot up by like 30% even. I mean, that does sound ridiculous. All you need to know is that overall, without Maxi existing, going second for the World Championship was a less than 40% win rate. Otherwise, going first, overall in the entire event was 57% win rate. Let's go. Princess, come to me. Come to me, Primula. Loki being triggering the regain, summoning the Magna Hut. And the Branded Beast going to be tributing off to pop off the Loki. No low key for you. And boy, are we in trouble. Are we in trouble? The Snowdrop could trigger the Primula to summon. We still got something. We could do a little bit of something. Returning back into the deck we go. Borea is going to be sending itself to grab the Colosseum to summon the Regulus. Regulus will be omni-negating. We couldn't Snowdrop tribute the Borea. Well, here's the thing. Snowdrop locks you into plant monsters only, so the Therion could not be summoned. Regulus would not be here. We have Con, but we already used the Glamour. We have Snowdrop tributing over the opponent's monster, so that's okay. Con will be grabbing the sheet. We're going to sheet all over the opponent by tributing their monster to take control of another monster. Valor is going to negate the Snowdrop. Damn. You're not turning everything into level 8 or level 4, so we have mismatched numbers for our Exceed. Now, Dry Ass in the extra monster zone is activating to search for something? No, what are we doing? We're going to battle in, healer heal, to then go into the Dance Peon. Dance Peon is going to do top 3 cards of the deck, summoning up to 2 plants off the top of the deck. Come forth, we got Mood Dawn, milling the rest, searching for a Con, which will be used on another turn. Link this up into the Jasmine. Jasmine's going to tribute off the Mood Dawn, special summoning our Lone Fire, which will trigger the Primula to special summon onto the field. Tributing off the Jasmine to summon a Loki. Loki into the Dryas. So it's just kind of interesting that we didn't activate this. I guess you wanted to not have him use Ash, right? Or you didn't want him to Valor this, maybe. You wanted to trick him by going into the battle phase to get that effect. Okay. Some advanced Rikka plays here. Like, what the hell? Dryas into the Thrasher. After we take damage, we gain that damage, which then also summons a monster for the action deck. We're going Resurgent. LMT says, self-admitting that this is a bad replay. Would you like to add to why you think this replay is bad? What did you mess up? We're going to be tributing off for Lubellion, triggering the Druid Swarm to send a monster on the field to the grave, sending the Regulus, but we're going to use the Rikka Princess to negate by tributing the opponent's Lubellion, which turns off the use of the Branded Beast to pop a card in the field. Okay. Druid Swarm attempting to be summoned. We're going to negate the effect, but then we're going to use the Baldrake also. Jasmine is a light. Come forth and banish. We now have our activatable beast. We have Resurgent, which could spin back. We have Sheep, which could tribute our monster to take control of theirs. Goodbye to the Con, banishing. Let's speed this up and let's see what happens. Resurgent, spinning back the Wyvern Burster, which could not be normal special summoned again through its effect. But then we're going to normal summon into our Striker Dragon through the Safer. Got Boot Sector Launch, which could launch the Tracer back onto the field. We're going to add back Lubellion from the graveyard with the effect of the Safer to then search for another Bestial. Special summon the Tracer, pop in the field spell, negate the Tracer summon of a non-tuner level 4 from the deck. Okay. Banishing Light and Dark for Chaos Emperor Dragon. I have never seen anyone use the effect of Chaos Emperor to send the field to the grave. Big enough to wipe out, and unfortunately scoops it up. What the heck happened? We surrendered. Researcher, top 5, summon a rock non-tuner among these 5, but there is none. So we're going to banish for Block Dragon, making a level 10 Synchro. Baron DeFleur is here. Gigantes into a Dweller, turning off the activation of cards in the opponent's graveyard. Banishing again for the Block Dragon, now ending our turn. What did we accomplish? The graveyard's going to be turned off right now. Baron DeFleur will negate anything. Herald Arclight will negate anything, plus any card that's a monster sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard will be banished instead. The Masquerena will get Lincoln during the opponent's turn into maybe a Goddess or a Unicorn. Let's go. Patchwork into a Chimera could be quite powerful here. We are linking up everything into an Apollo USA, which will be a Quadra Monster Negate. So we have about 4, 5, 6 disruptions on the field if you count Apollo as 4 different disruptions. Block Dragon is going to be negated by the Call of the Grave. And we just lost one of our disruptions here. Block Dragon's effect would not really be adding to this field, but Block Dragon would be banished from the game, and we're not willing to allow that to happen. That Baron to Floor negate could cost us. We have our multiple disruptions, Quadra Monster negate, plus the Herald of Arc Light. We're going to use up one of our monster negates. And we can't chain Apollo USA again within the same chain. Only one negate per chain. That Serenir goes through. And now she's reduced down to 24, which we could simply attack over. Just like that, 4 disruptions goes down to 1. To 0. Holy moly. All because Baron to Floor protected Block Dragon, which didn't even add to the play of this turn. Wow. Baron to Floor protected our follow-up, and now we're getting screwed on this turn into a Chimera that we can't negate. This is insane. Goodbye, Baron to Floor, and draw 2. This is all main phase 2. We are going to opening into the Alibur into the Branded Fusion. Very well done from Dango. Just dang. We're going into the Albion here, which can be attributed for the Lubellion to set up even more disruption with the Branded Beast. We're going to be fusing with the Chimera and the Albaz to make a Mirror Jade. Non-target monster banishes here. Attributing our Bestial instead of the Albion for our Lubellion, setting up a Branded Loss, which we could fuse under to search for a Mercurier, which will be a Monster Negate. There you go. Monster Negate, non-target Monster Banish. Why didn't we get Albion in the grave to then, search for more disruption during the end phase? I don't really get that. We also have Destruction Protection with the Branded Opening in the Dweller turned off the graveyard. You're right. I even forgot that Dweller was even a thing. So we played under Dweller and we did it incredibly well. Good job. And it's worth noting that Lubellion could summon from the graveyard even under the effects of Dweller because it doesn't activate. Analyzer, top 5 cards of the deck, summon a Rock Non-Tuner among those 5. We did not banish it before it activates. Xeno Guitar, linking this up into Dragonite, which could negate a spell or trap. Now, if we don't banish it before the open game state happens, it's going to be revealing 5. Any rock that we reveal will spin that many cards on the field back. So make sure to banish it. We do have our Monster Negate available. Guardian could negate the Monster Negate. We are going to, again, top 5 cards. Doki Doki summonable. Tackle Crusader is summonable. We got Tackle Crusader, Secret Special Summon, top 5 cards again. This is getting a bit crazy here. Dango is sweating. Shokan into our Nightmare Unicorn. On summon, we're going to be able to discard a card, spin a card in the field back into the deck. Now, Coritis could also chain here in addition to the Cartesia. This is going to reduce the entire field of non-fusions to 0 attack. 0 we go into now making a giant Perskenian. Perskenian could steal an extra deck monster from the graveyard, which is what we're doing right now. A pretty good one to steal, if I do say so myself. A Baron freaking to Floor. Holy moly. We had no Shuffler in the graveyard. Now we have an Omni Negate out of nowhere. We have Rinbrum attempting to summon the Albaz from the graveyard, but the Baron to Floor negates. And now we're going to be able to fuse with the Unicorn. Damn, Branded is nuts. Albaz on summon, discard a card, fusing with the Unicorn to make a Lubellion. Lubellion, discard Mercurier? No, okay. Yep, we don't want to do that. We do have the Mercurier ready to negate whatever he wants to do. Tackle Crusader flipping down the Perskenian. Now, let's read what Mercurier says. Mercurier states that while you control a fusion that mentions Fallen Albaz, unfortunately we have 2. So we are flipping down the Perskenian here, and flipping down the Mirror Jade would not have been good because there is the Lubellion making this activatable. Otherwise, if it was just Mirror Jade, we should have flipped that down, and we still scoop it up. Damn. Lots of Bestials. But what are we Bestialing against Adamancipator? Let's see. So if we search up Adam, Dark, Monsters in the Graveyard, yeah, not really going to happen. How about Light? Light Monsters. So some Adams play Snow, apparently. Okay. Them playing Snow, that's interesting. 60% are playing Snow. Yup. All right. Now, Granite is a huge choke point that you would want to save your impermanence for, and that's why we made an elf to make it untargetable. Cannot negate with Imperm or Veiler. Now, we're going to be going in with our Vernissalith, reviving the Revival Golem, and Block Dragon banishing 3 to come forth and Shokan. We then want the Block Dragon to be hitting the grave. After we make a Baron to floor, Omni negate. We're not making it untargetable. We are going to Block Dragon search for up to 3. So I like rocks. This does rock. This is good, yes. Duel turning off their grave. And this was a pretty decent field. We have Omni negate, turn off the grave, untargetable Masquerina and Dweller, which we could link off with the Masquerina. The impermanence is hidden. We don't know about that. Now, let's turn off the grave as we attempt to special summon. Draw phasing. This ensures that you do not get hit by a card like Droll and Lockbird. As you add within the draw phase, you're good. Chaining Serenir to banish the Ad Libitum off of the impermanence. Sure. So we're negated from searching for our Branded Fusion. Now what? To battle we go to turn off a disruption. Goodbye to Masquerina. We still have Baron to floor, so we're going to still be wiping things up. Mudora is going to chain shuffle the Masquerina back in, stopping the summon of the Bestial, which he wanted to summon during the battle phase to keep on attacking with. What's interesting, though, is main phase 2, the Elf could reborn Masquerina, which we are forced to return back to the extra deck. All right. We're going to instead summon the Researcher. Gee, I'm raising the desk, and the speaker's going to go nuts. Can you hold the speaker wire? Let's go, Libellion! Oh! Negate! The ability to set up a branded spell or trap, it is not happening. You cannot win going second again. I do not think so, but now you go first. Alibur searching for a branded fusion, chaining that Maxi, which we have the called by to negate. Now, let's set up this turn 1 and let's see what we accomplish. If we really... So this is valuing the branded in red more than the super poly, because you could instead toggle on, add the branded red, and then use it in the end phase with your set super poly to then trigger the branded lost. If we had a branded in red target in the graveyard, which the Ad Libitum being in the grave does make the branded in red super high value. We're going to be able to banish a monster and then resummon the Mirror Jade to banish another monster. And we're going to have Chimera to pop multiple cards in the field. And we have Mercurier to negate. Let's go. We have an Albaz in the graveyard also? We do not. So a Rinbrum being sent to the graveyard is not disruption here. Vernissalith in. The Vernissalith effect to be able to search and summon from the graveyard is negated. But Tackle Crusader is going to flip down the Mirror Jade. Yes. So a non-target monster banish is now gone. Branded in red to get summoning. We're going to add back the Libitum and then fuse with the Mirror Jade into, I would think, a Dragos Tapelia. This would be a monster negate on the field. Ad Libitum will reborn the Mirror Jade. Uh-oh. We're going to mill 5. That's a good way to get the Block Dragon into the graveyard, potentially. So it's not over yet. Branded lost. Come to me, Albion Dragon, since we already used the Mercurier. Does the 2K tournament exist? It exists when the Arise Heart comes. I have been clear that when full power cash comes, that we were going to do the tournament. So if the 2K tournament does not exist, then Arise Heart does not exist. And just like that, that is the scoop as the Mirror Jade gets resummoned off of the Ad Libitum being fused for to then resummon that Mirror Jade to then get banishing. We scooping. That was a great best of 3. Let's hop on another one. Unicorn with that free special summon. Negate the Unicorn from Searching for the Birth. Is that correct to negate? What else are we negating with our Ash? Well, That was a huge debate. Oh, goodbye to your Kagari, but you definitely have more copies of Kagari in your extra deck there. As we grab our Water Enchantress to then discard it to, then banish it to grab a Rite of Air's Mirror to summon a token onto the field. We're not going to have a Griffin Omni Negate. That's okay. Now, dealing with a Change of Heart, that's quite interesting. Take control of a monster until the end of the turn. We're going to make our Diablosis Mind Hacker, hacking the extra deck to banish the second copy of Kagari. Kagari is unlimited, but do we play 3 copies? Let's find out. Max C in the draw phase to play around a Triple Tactics talent. Change of Heart, your Diablosis is mine. Protecting the monster from battle destruction thanks to having an equip card with the Faithful Adventure effect, but we're making Zeus. Zeus will be ready to wipe up the field, wipe it all up as we then follow up, engage into a Widow Anchor. Yup, alrighty. And we have Monster Negate, no field wipe. That's pretty much it. The Birth, which we negated from searching, ended up having anyway. This is a Jabate Negate, do not negate. Unicorn on summon is going on attack that is going to look at the extra deck, banish the 3rd copy of Kagari if there is one. And we're going to Max C as the linkage is activated to summon from the extra by sending the Zeus. You cannot banish the last copy of my Kagari if I summon it. Kagari is going to be activating on summon as the Birth also targets 3 cards in the graveyard to banish. We're going to recycle the engage before it gets banished. And we're going to Widow Anchor. Now we're going to steal it. Okay, yeah, sure. Within the battle phase, while we have 3 different spells in the graveyard, we're going to take control of it so that you can't rank 7 Exceed with it, which we couldn't do anyway, but that was the fear. We feared it. All right. Now, the maneuver Afterburners, popping the monster. Could have popped the back row if we had more spells in the graveyard. We have Engage, searching for a Ray. Kagari into Hayate. And we are loading up this field. What is going on? We are going in for big damage, not exact lethal, but enough for lethal damage. The preparations can only be used to summon a Kashtira from the hand or the banish pile, and there's nothing banished that we could summon. Lethal damage. Sky Striker taking game 1. Unicorn is here searching for the Birth. The Effect Veiler is going to negate. The Birth would allow the summon of the Fenrir and the summon of a banished or engrave Kashtira. So looking at this hand, that was a great Veiler. Moonlit Chill for the level 10 Synchro. We Baron de Florin. Baron de Flor under the Max C. We have the Omni Negate. Let's go. Ray, trigger Rose. Rose come forth. Shokan into Zeke to go even with the Baron de Flor to attempt to banish it. We are going to negate and destroy. Could have went even with the Afterburners also. Ray, off of the destruction of our extra deck monster, is going to be reborning herself from the graveyard to now make a Hayate. Then we wipe out the Baron de Flor as we attack directly for 15, which we could have attacked directly anyway, to then send and engage. Now with linkage, we're going to send the Ray for a Kagari, and she's going to be boosted. But boosted up to 2,800 as we add back engage, not a linkage. We do not have the OTK. We didn't have OTK. Yeah, I guess we didn't. Into Shizuku. Shizuku MP2 into the engage, grabbing the monster negate. We're going to be searching for a spell during the end phase. Another negate. That is fine. Now what? We could... The thing is, the Griffin Rider special summonable if we have a token or no monsters, but then we can't summon our Kashtira. So you have to choose between both of them. Obviously, the Griffin's just dead. It's no good here. Special summoning that Fenrir to activate to search for nothing because it's going to get negated. And we're also going to banish the Baron de Flor and take control of it. Okay, Baron de Flor with the Shark Cannon. Now, if I read the Shark Cannon, the monster is not negated. It just can't attack. So we have an Omni Negate. Let's go. And your Fenrir is mine, which is negated. Special summon the Ogre, searching for the preparations. Come forth Rise Heart, which will be our rank 7 Exceed, which the Baron de Flor is negating. Now the Ogre can be looking at the top of the deck because of a monster effect activating. We could banish a card and we put the cards back in the same order. Big enough to take out the Shizuku, but I don't know if we even want to do that because then Rei is going to be triggered. She gets summoned. She then goes into a Kagari. We then have a better follow-up because of that attack just to get a little bit damage in. I think we're just defeated. Obviously, that was not a good play, but we already lost. That did not add to us losing. It's already been over. Reinforce our army as we add Rei to the hand. Baron de Flor that we took control of from your graveyard. Popping a card in the field. Look at my deck again. Banish a card, and then put it back in the same order. Goodbye to our Engage as we link off Kagari into Arcana. Kana turning off the ability for Ogre to declare an attack. Rei and Baron de Flor making our Dark. Kana is going to go into the Hayate. Hayate attack directly for 1,500. Killing ourselves to search our deck for a Dark monster for another Rei. Interesting plays to free up our main monster zones to then follow up Engage into the maneuver Afterburners, which will wipe out the monster and take out the preparations. Kagari is back. Add a spell in the graveyard back to the hand. We are engaging. Holy Sky Striker. With 3 different spells in the graveyard, we not only add, we also draw 1. And it's so over from here. Not going to even spin the Griffin back into the deck. We're just going to draw 2 instead. Now, multi-roll is here. Hey, D-Shifter, not activatable. We could special summon Griffin, then tribute summon. That's a 2-0 victory for Sky Striker, defeating pure Kashtira. Dragon Link versus Tyr in the top 8 is here. We have no disruption whatsoever, so let's quickly speed up through this turn. Now, what did we accomplish here? We had the Masquerena link off during the opponent's turn into a Unicorn, spin a card back. That's what we could do. We have Heranic Seal, spin back a face-up card back to the hand. We have, that's pretty much our only public disruption. We do have some hand traps here. A whole lot of plays for a whole lot of nothing. Send Sulliek with the Foolish Burial Goods. We're going to negate the Tearlaments search. No monster search for you. D-Link best deck. Triple Tactics Talent now activatable because you activated a monster during the main phase. We're now going to be drawing into Mudora Bestial. Not discarding a Guido to mill 5 for both players. That's interesting. We're going to make a Mood Dragon, fusing the Masquerena and Striker Dragon here. We're now going to chain Heartbeat to stop the summon of the Branded Regain being triggered off of our summon, which we could have done with the Mudora to spin back. And that's because the Heartbeat was going to be the one to mill, and we just milled nothing. Wow. Rhino with no Tear in the hand. Goodbye to the field spell, which is a 1 of. Oh boy. Non-target spin back, since the Mood Dragon cannot be targeted. Banishing the opponent's Lubellion within the battle phase to then wipe out the Serenir to send another Lubellion. Milling nothing. Absorouter can special summon if we have a rocket on the field. Special summoning our Tracer and our Absorouter, as we said. Druid Swarm banishing. Now we're going to Mood Dragon, not Mood Dragon, but Mudora, the other Moo. Spin back Lubellion before it's summoned. Shokan onto Baron de Flor. Omni negate plus pop a card on the field. Druid Swarm sending the Ball Drake to the graveyard. We're also going to draw 2 with the Triple Tactics Talent. Dragon Link absolutely crushing Tearlament right now. Banishing Light and Dark to summon our Chaos Ruler. And with that, we have Valor and Absol Dragon to make the Borreload Omni negate. Didn't even activate. 9,000 damage on the field. That is a 1-0. Let's go. Fenrir playing around Max C. Rhino Heart sending from the deck to the graveyard. Now we're going to Max C, which plays right into a Triple Tactics Talent. We have Ash 2 negate. I don't know about you, but I am maxing in the draw phase on the ladder no matter what. I don't know how popular T2T on the ladder is right now, but it's in every tournament duel. Magna banishing the Hovness, stopping the fusion summon. I do not think so. We have another Bestial to counter. Fenrir being triggered off of your monster effect. Your monster effect triggering my Hovness. Not really a trigger, but we're going to chain special summon. Mill 3. We have a Kelbeck now in the graveyard. Goodbye to your Magna for the rest of the duel. As the Celiac being milled activates to search for a Tearlaments. It will be a Sharon. Sharon will discard Mudora, special summon Mill 3 as we mill 5, getting a Fairy Tale Snow and a Kaldo into the graveyard, ready to shuffle. Get that Mudora, Mill 3. Did we already do the Agido? Now, Time Thief Redoer could send the Sharon to the graveyard to trigger a fusion. And that's exactly what we're doing. We are going to Ball Drake, stop the fusion. We are going to chain Fairy Tale Snow to banish the monster you want to banish so the Ball Drake does not get summoned. Did we Agido? I mean, he did not Agido. He Kelbecked. He did not Agido. He said no. He did not activate it. Why didn't he Agido? I don't know, mate. I think he probably should have done that. As maybe misclicked? I don't know. Why no Agido? Redoer, stealing a Veiler off the top of the deck. Banishing for Collapse Serpent. Shokan into our Dark. We do have Fenrir activatable here, which will banish the Dark, banish the Striker that is off the field. Yeah, you know, he's got Shufflers. He's got double Shufflers. He's got a lot of Shufflers to counter any counterplay from the graveyard. Holding on to the Fenrir effect. Special summoning Tracer, discarding for the Chaos Space, grabbing our Lubellion. Mudora is going to get rid of the Chaos Space so he does not get to draw 1. Call with the Grave onto the Keldo, forcing Keldo to preemptively activate. Spinning 3 of our own cards back into our deck. All right. That Agido cost him 2 games. You're keeping track of him not activating Agido? We have Lubellion searching for the Druid Swarm. Shokan into Chaos Ruler. Top 5 cards of our deck are going to be milled. And then, are we going to Fenrir now? This would be a pretty good Fenrir to banish the Chaos Ruler off the field, right? Adding the Saranir. Fenrir is here, banishing the Chaos Ruler face down. Despite shuffling the Chaos Space into the deck, stopping it from drawing 1, it's still going to get that draw 1. Banishing for the Saranir, tributing for the Lubellion. Continually, we tried to shuffle it back in the deck, but it found its way back in the grave. We're now going to activate, triggering the Hovness to summon in Mill 3. Let's check the Tearlaments graveyard right here. Merly milled as we set up a regained. Merly get fusion summoning, drew a Swarm to get banishing. Now, it's worth noting that players in the World Championship would overload their Dragon Link deck with a ton of Bestials, and when given the choice to choose between their 2 decks when playing against Tearlaments, they chose this deck. They built this deck to beat Tear. This is a Tear counter when you have all the Bestials boosted up into the deck. As you can see here, he can't even fuse. All of his fusions are getting Bestialed. Tracer pop the field spell, summon a level 4 non-tuner from the deck into Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel on summon's gonna banish a card from the field. I don't think Chaos Angel was legal at the World Championship. Goodbye to Fairy Tale Snow as the Druid Swarm sends the Fenrir to the grave. Be gone and get banished. Striker popping itself to add the Recharger, which will discard itself to target the Striker to then summon another monster from the graveyard. Yes, that is an over-convoluted way to do it. And then the Recharger is back in the field. Very good. Add Lubellion with the Seifert as we now make a Borreload Savage Dragon, equipping a Link from the graveyard to gain a single negate. Let's clear up this field. Redoer has a Veiler tied under it, which is going to be banishing itself to then come back during the end phase. Now, the Chaos Angel was summoned with Dark monsters only, so all of our monsters are indestructible by battle. Redoer looking for a good card to rip off the top. Ball Drake, not very good. Okay. Huh? Yeah, it's also worth noting that Regained counters Redoer if you're patient enough to not activate it and wait for Redoer. So it's not coming back during the end phase. Rarely does that ever happen because something else is getting banished before they Redoer. Fenrir's going to trigger the Ball Drake being summoned, activate on attack to banish the Borreload Savage Dragon, which will negate the activation but not destroy. I mean, we're just trolling at this point because, yeah, it is top cut, and this is our final duel. Was that a troll? We're not trolling. We're actually still playing. We are not getting Bestialed. We dealt with the negate. Let's go. We're still in this. I don't know what you're talking about. Kit Cal. Nothing. I mean, we are under the Maxi, and we're getting Ball Draked. Holy moly. Goodbye to Kit Cal. Hold on. Kit Cal could send a tier. That tier plus Rhino plus another tier can make a Kaleido. We're still in this, kind of. Nope, we're searching for Scream instead. Huh? Now we're giving up. Now it's over. Lethal damage. All right. Let's be real. What's Kaleido gonna do? Now it's time for the top 4. Let's go. We Sky Striking, and we are going second. Let's do it. Sky Strikers do not mind going second. In fact, they may even prefer it. Now, why would you ever Veiler before the activation of a monster if that monster has a cost to send itself to the graveyard, which it does to dodge the Veiler? And if it sends itself to the graveyard for the cost of its effect, it's still negated. All right, all right. We are now going in to our Striker Dragon, which we have no boot sector to search for because it's already in our hand. Banish the Veiler. Thanks to the Veiler, we can now not have to banish our Lubellion or our Seifert. Lubellion is going to be setting up the Regained. If the banish of a Lighter Dark happens, we will be drawing a card. We have the quick effect to spin a face-up card the opponent controls back to the hand without targeting it. Rocket Tracer is here, popping the boot sector, summoning the Recharger, and now we're making a baby with the Pisty. When do we Veil again? Do we Veil Pisty? Have you ever veiled a Pisty? I've never seen that. 1, 2, 3, 4, Veil the Pisty. What do we do from there? It's happening. Pisty just got negated. Pisty ain't summoning Magna Hut into the Borland. Safer add back? I guess we're gonna do it anyway because we had Safer. Well, damn. Return the Safer to the bottom, draw 1. Get poppin', come forth and Shokan. The Recharger's gonna summon a monster from the graveyard, which we already used the effect of the Tracer, actually ending our turn. That's interesting. So instead of Borland, we're just gonna have the Hieratic Seal and an active Bestial. Okay, the active Bestial does banish Array. Sure, let's do it. 2 Maxi, Afterburner, get poppin'. The Hieratic Seal is going to be tributing itself to trigger its effect to then summon a monster from the deck. Now, this is kind of like a way to negate, like a Deity Crow, if you banish it before it activates, just like the Millers. If the Millers get sent to the graveyard by cost, you banish them before they activate, they ain't activated. So we, maybe he would have summoned a Druiswarm from the deck, possibly. That would have been an issue. Regained, return the Heavenly Spheres back to draw 1. Now we have the Triple Tactics talent to draw 2. Come to me. Maxi. You're supposed to, do the Maxi thing before they draw because they could draw into an out to the Maxi like they just did. I don't know if we're actually going to Ash it. Are we? Probably. Yeah, because we're going to make some plays. Yeah, that's not when. But the reason why you would still Maxi anyway is because of Ray. If you summon Ray and they Maxi, Ray chain jumps off the field and then you don't draw for Maxi. So multiple reasons to Maxi early. We're gonna summon the Hornet Drones. TTT saving lives, yeah. TTT bundle when? Big enough to wipe out the Striker as we send and engage from the deck to the graveyard to then add back to the hand with a Kagari. Main phase 2. What do we have enough spells in the graveyard to draw? Oh yeah, we do. This is gonna be a good engage. We're gonna search for anything plus draw an additional card. Grabbing multi-roll and another Ash. Now we multi-roll in. There's a trick with Shizuku. You add Widow Anchor, you then negate your Shizuku in the end phase, which then triggers the multi-roll to set the Widow Anchor, giving us an additional monster negate. Yeah, do it. Which, you know, we could just negate you. That works. I don't have to negate my own monster. I can negate you instead. Very nice. Get Yoinkin, and that will trigger the multi-roll, which, I mean, this was a mistake, wasn't it? What did we banish? So what we should have done is what we should have seen. Clearly, we should see that this is the Shizuku multi-roll setup. After they Widow Anchor, negate their own Shizuku, then summon Magna Hut, then search. All right. Double monster negate plus our Ash Blossom, negating the search of a Bestial when we already have one in the hand. Okay. Now you can't chain link block a Widow Anchor negate. Though the Leveneer is a good way to be chain link blocked with the regained, we could still negate it from popping 2 cards in the fields. 2-card pop, non-targeting, you got to negate. And if we take control, we can't use our other Widow Anchor. So we have to just negate, then leave it. Now we could take control since we have no other play. I mean, it was targeting. It's not non-targeting. We could have chained the Tracer, which we chose to not do. Interestingly enough, the Shizuku being destroyed by battle would trigger a Ray in the graveyard if we had one. Instead, we Hayate, send the Engage. We also didn't use Engage to search for a Ray. Heraldic Seal. We are sealing. Quick effect, spin a card back to the hand. Now, you may be thinking, this was a good opportunity to do it. It's actually only activatable during the opponent's turn. So all those spell activations, grab enough spells from the graveyard. Very good. Every spell activation is a set. Problem is, whatever we activate now gets banished. Playing into TTT, I mean, we could draw into TTT with the Engage. We search, we then draw, not in a TTT. That's going to trigger the regain to reborn a Bestial from the graveyard. We're going to chain our Bestial to banish your Bestial from the grave. And we're thinking, when do we seal? When do we quick effect spin back? We're going to return a banished card back of the deck to draw 1. To battle we go. We are going to protect our Bestial. No, we're not protecting it. We're just spinning back the Rose to summon a Magna Hut. Sure. Okay. Yep. Afterburners wiping out the Magna Hut and the regain. No more are you going to endlessly be drawing and special summoning your Bestials. Set up the Widow Anchor. The Sky Striker Hornets will not be able to be used until the opponent's turn. We got no Sky Striker on the field. That spin back Rose did something. We're going to Chaos Space, discard to get searching for the Wyvern Burster, banishing a Dark to summon. But first, the Absorbator being sent to the graveyard, searching for the Rocket Tracer on summon, destroy. Not destroy, but spin a card from the hand back of the deck, knowing it's a Rose because we didn't banish a light. Now, the Leveneer cannot attack. We have Seifert sending Leveneer to be searching for nothing as you get negated. Negate. All right, all right. We are now going to link off the Wyvern Burster into the Striker Dragon with a Boot Sector already in the grave. Nothing to search. Searching for the Collapser of the Wyvern Burster. Popping ourselves to add the Recharger to then send itself to the graveyard after a monster was destroyed to then summon our Tracer. Shokan into the Borreload Savage Dragon, which we can't do anything. Can't do anything. You would Shark Cannon the Link. That would be pretty good to stop it from gaining a counter, which gives it the negate. But because we have a monster in the main zone, not activatable. Well, the Shark Cannon would have stopped it from gaining a counter, and he negated the Shark Cannon anyway. So it still worked out. It still went even. Leveneer cannot activate more than once per turn. The multi-roll continually banishing our cards. Double Widow Anchor gone. Engage is gone. This is the banished pile. Uh-oh. Maxi, finally. Maxi in the draw phase. Now you can't TTT me. Hayate. Maxi every turn, of course. Wiping out the Boro load. Hayate. I think we need a Ray in the graveyard, huh? Now we're going to set up with Engage. This will be Kagari, add back Engage, and after all the adding of the multi-roll, do we still have 3 different spells in the graveyard? We do. We will be drawing nothing. It would be a search and a +1, but that Ash is coming in hot. And phase multi-roll, setting up a Shark Cannon, which could banish a card from the opponent's graveyard. You have Serenir banishing the opposing Bestial. It's worth noting that this is why people are not playing Sky Striker, because of Bestial. So you tell me, how badly is he losing to Bestial? Does it even seem that big of a deal? But this is the main reason why a lot of people don't want to play the deck. Tracer Serenir into the Baron de Floor. Level 10, Omni Negate plus pop a card on the field. I don't think we have a Ray in the grave. No, we still do not. We're just scooping it up too much. Let's hop to game 2. Bro, we still not maxing in the draw phase? Come on, man. Come on, man. Coco Nut, you got it maxi in the draw phase. All right, Shizuku, searching for Engage. I think exclamation mark toggle tells you the best toggle settings to ensure that you can maxi in the draw phase easily. In TCG, it's a lot easier because you just say it. But in Master Duel, it quickly moves you to main phase. They're not going to ask you in the draw phase naturally, would you like to max C? Striker Dragon, get searching. I see that copy pasta. I'll get to it in a bit. After the game, my friends. Max C chaining to the boot sector, launch attempting a special summon up to 2 rockets from the hand. We are going to Ball Drake, banish the Druid Swarm you are targeting. You do not get to summon your Magna Hut. Very good, very good. Come forward with the summon. You know, you have been maxing the shite out of me. Now I max you. Baron de Floor with the Omni Negate plus pop any card on the field as the Lubellion is now sent to the graveyard with the Serenir. To battle we go. We do not have a Ray to special summon. The Ray has been banished by a Bestial. Striker popping itself to add a Tracer when we have already used up our normal summon, so the Recharger will be activated. Huh? Recharger did not activate. We are going to Lubellion, discard, add a Baldrake. Why didn't we do the thing? The Dark Monster that was summoned for the extra deck is destroyed. Send this to the graveyard, then target the destroyed monster, summon a Dark Monster with a different original name, which I guess would be Recharger, which I guess we could not really do anything with. We wanted the Tracer to be in the graveyard, not be added back to the hand, but it was the only card we could add back. Hey, he's listening. Standby is second best to the draw phase, so that is an improvement, yes. Get that Maxi out of here. Baron de Floor, negate, Widow Anchor, negate. Let's go, let's go. And the C has been fingered. Negate. We got Pot of D, Triple T, not activatable. Baron de Floor one, again, get the hail out of here, not able to. Chain linkage, get the Engage in the grave. This will be search our deck for a, so look at this combo, you understand this? The Engage states that if we have 3 different spells in the graveyard, we get to search plus draw 1. Well, we only had 2, but by chaining the linkage to send the Engage itself to the graveyard, that's the 3rd different copy of a spell. Thus, we're gonna draw 1. Add and draw. Engage, recycle back the Widow Anchor to our hand. As we now Pot of D, banish any one-ofs here. We have 2 Rays gone. Afterburners wiping out the Baron de Floor and the field spell here. Looking pretty good for Sky Striker, despite being on their final copy of Ray. End phase, Shizuku, set 3 pass. We only have really a Widow Anchor. Oh, you thought Baron de Floor was a lighter dark? No, it's not. We're gonna take control of Baron de Floor, which turns off the ability to use the Widow Anchor, but we have an Omni Negate. Let's go. Hold up. How does Baldrake work? Has to be summoned from the extra deck, right? Oh. Oh. No, not from the extra deck. So if you take control of my Baron to floor, but I get Baldrake out first before you summon it, I'm going to banish it, but you're going to be forced to negate it, and then you're going to have no disruption on my turn because you got a Baron to floor that's already used up its negate, and it's blocking your Widow Anchor from activating. Uh-oh. Shouldn't you called by? Has this... Oh, it's newly set. Oh, no, it's newly set. Can't be used. Oh, boy. And we're going to be attempting... Okay. We don't negate, right? We just don't let it be banished so we could use Widow Anchor. That's what I'm thinking. Is that correct? Alrighty. This is it. Is Magna Hut a... okay, so the Baldrake would have stopped the Magna Hut from activating if you tried to chain link block it. Actually negated it. Maybe we should have just let it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We can't Widow Anchor now. We have a dead Baron to floor, which we should have maybe just let get banished. We're going to call to the grave, banish Lubellion early. The Leveneer has 3 dark monsters to banish, so it's not going to be popping cards in the fields. We need a light monster to banish. Focus. Striker Dragon is here. Can't use anything. Can't even linkage the Baron to floor away. We're going to be banishing the space. Return back the Wyver Burster as we then draw into the Max C. Chaos Ruler is here. Top 5 cards of the deck are going to get milled. Add a light or dark among those 5. You have to remember that the C did get fingered, so it is negated right now. Maxi got called by. Yes. So it is negated for 2 turns. Focus. Wiping up the back row of the Widow Anchor and linkage that we could not even activate. Gee, as someone's calling for mods in the chat, is there a problem in the chat? What's going on? I'm not paying attention. Striker popping itself, adding the Recharger. As the Recharger now gets triggered to target the Striker to reborn the Magna Hut. And let's get to it. It is, in fact, over. With 3 or less spells in the... Wow. Dragon Link had 4 spells in the graveyard to keep Azalea on the field. That is nuts. Now Azalea, you can't destroy her by battle because at the start of the damage step, she's going to destroy you instead. She is nuts. And she's mine. Again, we max seeded the main phase. Dude, TTT! Okay. Baldrake banish. And we are going to max you also because we are desperate. Let's go, let's go. Into the Hornet Drones, which is not activatable unless we have no main monster zones. Looking at the hand, spin it back in. Kagari, add back from the graveyard. What is going to be our big play? Did we really just get Veilered? So we chain Veiler to the Baldrake. It does get negated. It also gets banished. Yes. Oh, gosh. No way. No Ray in the graveyard. You know, we got Hornet Drones into... we're still under Max C. Jeez. We're not going to. It's just like, what are we doing here? We're just continually drawing outs, literally ripping outs off the top of the deck on every summon. We're going to quickly launch into a Chaos Angel. On summon, we're going to be banishing the Hornet Drones, forcing its activation, which we have to do anyway because we're at 3,400 life, to block this 3,500 attack. Now, it's not unaffected from monster effects. It's only indestructible by battle. Looks like we lose. Chaos Ruler, banish light and dark, come forth and summon, wiping out the token, lethal damage. Damn. Battle of the Max Cs. Let's hop into the other top 4. We have branded Despia in the top 4 right away. Going to, in the draw phase, branded opening, special summoning the Albert, grabbing the branded fusion, which plays around a drone Lockbird. Also, the Veiler cannot be used onto the Aluber within the draw phase. So multiple uses of that draw phase summon. Max C under the Branded Fusion will maybe be just draw 2. Or just go into Rinbrum, actually, and you just draw 1. So the Rinbrum is actually great because if an extra deck monster activates their effect, it could spin a card on the field back to the hand. And by card, it's going to return a monster. So we are going to be setting up with our Bestial. I mean, bro, really? Under a Max C, we're going to be summoning that Magna Hut. Could we have waited for the next turn, maybe? All right, adding Serenir and Albaz with the Mercurier being banished. To battle we go right away, wiping out the Rinbrum with no Albaz in the graveyard until we discard it with the Super Poly. Does it turn into a disruption? So do look out for that. If we can get the Albaz into the graveyard, we can summon it to then fuse with the opponent's field using the Rinbrum. And we're waiting for 2 dark monsters on the field to use that Super Poly to fuse with their field. We have the Chaos Base discarding a card to grab the Chaos Emperor. Returning a banished card back in the deck to draw 1 here. The Call by the Grave is going to be quite deadly in this duel. Countering not only the Rinbrum play, but potential branded in red. It's going to be one or the other. Banishing the opposing Lubellion before it can be summoned to summon our own Serenir. We're going to pay 1,000 to add that banished Lubellion to the hand. Now we're going to Super Poly with the field, discarding the Albaz to make a Borreload Furious Dragon. Wow, okay. Borreload Furious could be targeting a monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls to get poppin'. Very similar to DPE. Retribution adding a card in the graveyard to the hand. As we then we're not summoning a Mirror Jade, are we? Ooh. So we could still kind of do something. If we chain the Branded in red, which we're not doing because he didn't target the Albaz. If he targeted the Albaz, it would have forced us to chain Branded in red. Very interesting. So the Rinbrum was probably going to be summoning itself back onto the field here. Okay. Or no, the Albaz would have been summoned to fuse with the Striker Dragon is what I'm thinking to make a Mirror Jade. Now we could Branded in red. Fuse with the Furious Dragon before it destroys itself. So we target itself to destroy, and then we fuse with it into a Mirror Jade because we did not target the Albaz with our Called by the Grave. Very nice. Very well done. Let's get fusing. Non-target monster banished with Mirror Jade. Very, very good. Okay. Summoning the Fenrir before it activates to even search. We're just going to banish it right away, eating up our Mirror Jade banish. And now the Glory Dragon is gone through the Magna Hut as they then follow up with a Lubellion, searching and setting up a Branded Regain into the back row as we then normal summon Veiler to make a Masquerena. Masquerena alongside our Chaos Emperor Dragon, banishing a Light and Dark to summon itself to then trigger the Regain to draw 1 card. As we then link it up into a Nightmare Unicorn on summon, discard a card, spin a card on the field back into the extra, which the Mirror Jade does not activate in the extra to wipe out the fields. Now, this was summoned with a Masquerena, so it would be indestructible anyway. Kit on summon is going to be searching for a Branded Spell or Trap and then returning a card in the hand back in the deck. Regained is going to reborn the Magna Hut from the graveyard, activating it to then search for a dragon during the end phase. We have nothing for the Branded Fusion. Now, we don't have Lubellion. If we summon a Albion, the Albion one, what he could do is he could chain the Bestial to banish the Albaz from the grave, and then he's in trouble, in a way. Yeah, so this is what we do. We banish the Albaz with the Druid Swarm. And this is why you summon Lubellion over Albion if you have a card in the hand, which he didn't have. So he is playing well, both of them. We are fusing with Aluber and Serenir to make a Coritis instead. And we're going to be returning the banished monster back in the deck to get our draw 1. Every turn, we're drawing 1 with the Regained. Tributing off a high-level dragon to make our Lubellion for Regained versus Regained. Now, how does Regained versus Regained work? How it works is the non-turn player can counter the Regained from them drawing a card. So if a light or dark gets banished, they'll target it, then you target it, and then you will draw and they will not. So you could just wait as the non-turn player, which is ideal generally because you don't want them to get another draw, which is going to happen right now. Nope, he's passing on it. He's like, I know you're going to counter my regained, so I'm going to wait until I could maybe deal with your regained before activating my regained. So why can't he counter it? Because he has to say no. He has to then say yes. He then gets to say, well, thank you very much. I'm now going to use regained later in the turn. The problem solved itself. Okay, I get to draw for free now, which you could have stopped. We have Chaos Angel on summon. Get banished. Be gone to the regained. Now, it could be argued that if he waited too long, the regain would get banished like it's happening right now, to be fair. So instead of waiting for them to out your regained, just use it early, I guess. That could be a good case there. We are going to quickly launch the Tracer onto the field, and that is going to be a scoop. Let's hop into game number 2. Let's go. All right, we have Patchwork searching for a polymerization into an Edge Imp Chain as the Fusion deployment is going to deploy a Fusion material from the deck onto the field. We have Lubellion on summon, discarding a card, diffuse into the Mirror Jade. Non-target monster banished as the Lubellion tributes off the Albion to make the Lubellion to first. We're going to also banish the Albion, stopping from activating during the end phase as we grab a regained. So very good. We wanted to banish it before it activates and banish it before the regained could then return it back to the extra to draw 1. We have non-target monster banish. We have Super Poly. Let's go. Rebellion, discard searching for nothing because we're going to banish and negate. It stops regained. It also stops the end phase search, yes. We have Chaos Emperor into a scoop. Well, it's okay if your monster gets bestialed, then you could add it back with the Chaos Emperor, but if you add it back after a Call by the Grave, it is negated. Even though it's negated, you could still put it into the graveyard from the hand and then still special summon it, but it's still negated, so it's not going to set up a branded spell or trap into the back row. We're going to be Fenrir searching for the Fenrir. We have no disruption, but we have a pretty decent turn 2 if we could get the Edge Imp Chain into the graveyard, which we don't have. I mean, potentially if we draw into something good, this could be decent, but you know, it's not looking good right now. This looks horrible. Just, we need to be able to polymerize with the branded Lost. And you know, the more I think about it, we are really screwed. I think we are super done. Magnaha could be attributed for the Lubellion. Lubellion setting up a regain to endlessly draw every turn and special summon Bestials from the graveyard. Tracer pop the field spell, summon the level 4 non-tuner, making the Pisty into the Triple Burst. Triple Burst pointing to where the Pisty's pointing to, then special summon the Striker back in the field. Now we have a monster negates. We're going to special summon our Tracer from the graveyard to now have an Omni negates on top of a monster negates. And if we activate monster effect, the Fenrir will banish a card face down. Albaz, okay. Well, we're gonna Call by the Grave, the max C, so you do not get to draw off of all my special summons. Baron to 4, not Baron, but Borreload is going to negate the finger. No fingering of my max C today. Normal summon Edge Imp Chain. Okay, if we declare an attack, we add an Edge Imp Chain from the deck to the hand, which we can't do anything with. Damn. It's just like, what could we do besides summon, wait, no. If it's destroyed, oh, we got it in the graveyard. That's actually smart. I don't know, though, because the Albaz could have done this. We could have Lenatus, right? Lenatus. We could set Albaz and Lenatus with 1, 2, 3 dragons plus Albaz. What do you think? And getting this in the graveyard gets us the Patchwork. Okay, wow. Absolute mad lad. He had 2 good plays here. This actually, I thought he was surrendering. No, smart play, smart play. Now, whatever we summon can't be negated by Borland because it's going to be untargetable if we summon a Chimera, or it cannot be responded to its summon with the branded Lost. Lubellion, this is working. Chainlink 1 Lubellion, discard, branded lost, Chainlink 2. If you mess up the Chainlinks, you are screwed. It has to be Chainlink 1 or the lost misses the timing of protecting your Mirror Jade. So not only do you have to put the Chainlink correctly, you now need your toggle on. So it's not over yet. So first, correct Chainlinks, now toggle on. You need to respond to your own summon to banish the card like Borland off the field before it can chain to you. This is it. Yes, yes. Can't negate. Did not negate. He had an active negate and he couldn't do it. Fenrir is going to be negated by discarding the Mercourier. All right, all right. Very well done. Very well done. Dango knows exactly what they're doing. Banishing the Brygrand. We have Albion going to be negated by Ash. Now, what's cool about having an Albaz in the graveyard, if your Mirror Jade was activatable, it allows you to get a Rinbrum in the grave to then turn it into another disruption. We could not just randomly draw that card, though. Would not allow it. Let's hop into the grand finale. Dango, I was rooting for branded Despia to make it into the grand finale. Thank you very much. Now, let's do it. Dragon Link versus Dragon Link in the grand finale. Bystials have just been clapping up and controlling everyone. Let's go. Safer is going to be sending the Tracer to be searching our deck, but it is going to be a negate, trying to search for a dragon that is level 4. We're going to tribute off over the Chaos Ruler to make the Lubellion, but our Regained randomly got milled, and we may not play a branded beast to then pop cards in the field with. We don't. Our Regained's gone, and that's a huge deal. To win the mirror match, I think it's going to be whoever keeps Regained up the longest, unless you could end the duel early. We have Bystial plus a monster negate, and this monster negate cannot be targeted by monster effects, also can't be destroyed by card effects. We are going to maxi early to play around the Borland, because to negate, it has to summon from the grave, and to summon the Bystial, that's going to be another draw for the maxi. We are Striker going into the boot sector as we then quickly launch a Rocket Tracer to then make a Romulus searching for a Ravine. That's going to be a negate, but off that negate, we're going to be able to draw. And it's worth noting, you can't chain to the Borland by called by the Graving, because that's what it says. You can't chain to its negate. We are going to boot sector launch, summon the Rocket Tracer onto the field. Why did we not Bystial it? That's interesting. Yeah, huh? No Bystial banished the Rocket Tracer? Okay, I mean, we really don't want them to draw under Max C, huh? Pisty is going to be reborning the Striker onto the field. Into our own Borland. Borland versus Borland. Borland negate the opposing recharger, summoning our Rocket Tracer from the graveyard. Holy moly. It's just like we only have that. Okay, yeah, you know, if we chain we can't chain Baldrick to it. If we Baldrick before, it could chain negate to the Baldrick, then summon it. But while its negate has been used, I do think we have to banish the Tracer, because otherwise the Borland cannot negate. It states that you have to target a monster on the field and a rocket in the graveyard, and if you don't have a rocket in the graveyard, you do not get to negate with the Borland. So if we want to turn off that negate, also can't be destroyed by battle either. Oh, we're not going to Baldrick, so now the Borland's going to be activatable. Non-target spin back the Borland. Here's the thing. You have priority on your turn when you draw to activate Borland before they could chain or activate the Hieratic Seal. You have player priority. So in the TCG, if they shotgun that, you go, nope. You put that back on the field, and you say, I Borland negate. They can't chain. Oh, goodbye to Borland. You also can't chain to the Borland, so it would have just been negated. He had priority? Yeah, he did, but it did not work. We are going to Called by the Grave, banish Lubellion. Lubellion going to get fingered here, not going to be tributing over the Baldrick. But we are ruling with Chaos as we then get fingered again. The double finger in the Hieratic Seal. Holy moly. Some could handle one, but 2 fingers was too much for Coconut. Now, Ball Drake going in. We're going to negate the Ball Drake, summon our Rocket Tracer. Tracer popping itself, summoning the Recharger. And I think Redden's got this duel. Into MP1, negate our own monster, reborning our Rocket Tracer, activating the Serenir to banish from the opposing graveyard. Let's now make a Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is going to get popping. We have 6,500 damage on the field as Serenir sends a Lubellion from the deck to the graveyard. We're going to link this up into Striker. Now, with that Striker, we still do not have enough damage until we pop itself to add the Recharger, triggering the Recharger to send itself to the graveyard, to then summon a monster different than the Striker, summoning a Triple Burst Dragon from the graveyard, giving us enough for lethal damage. Now, I hope that everyone watching understands the Hieratic Seal situation. So you toggle on, you draw, you activate your Borland, targeting the Hieratic Seal to negate it, and they can't chain, and then they can't spin back. Your Borland is safe, you're good, you're fine. You do have turn player priority to do that. So the Hieratic Seal sends itself to the graveyard by cost, and by sending itself to the graveyard by cost, it's no longer on the field for the Borland to negate. So the Borland has nothing on the field to negate as soon as it activated, and then the other Borland couldn't even be targeted by the Borland. So that's why just draw phase, target the Hieratic Seal while it's still on the field. They can't chain to it because that's what this says. Your opponent cannot chain or respond to this activation. Can't be done. Then it's negated, and while it's negated, if it tributes itself to spin back the Borland, it's still negated. Game 2. Every light or dark banish is going to trigger the regain to return it to the bottom of the deck to then draw 1. We have the Hieratic Seal to spin a face-up card non-targeting back to the hand. We have Masquerena to link up during the opponent's turn, which it could link up with the monster that the Hieratic Seal will summon from the deck after being tributed. We got Maxi, we got Nibiru, we got Abystial. Let's go. Fenrir is here, triggering the regain to summon Abystial from the graveyard. We're going to use Magna Hut to banish that Bestial. And we're going to max C, which again, you know, the max C's got to be in the draw phase. We really have to draw phase that max C. Fenrir gets summoned over max C. Triple Tactics talent is everywhere. Just draw phase the max C, please. Regain's going to return the banish card to the bottom of the deck, then draw 1. As the Fenrir is banishing the Masquerena off the field in response to a monster effect resolving. Searching for another Fenrir. Normal summoning our Caliber to force out the Hieratic Seal, spinning back Fenrir. We could swing Caliber in, kill it, and then special summon Fenrir again. I'm not saying we should do that, but we could do it. Killing the Magna Hut instead. And we're going to Caliber tribute itself to then special summon a monster from the hand. How many summons are we into now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that 5 summons? I don't even know. Nibiru is here, but the problem is the Chaos Angel, unaffected by monster effects, unaffected by Nibiru. Can't Nibiru the Chaos Angel. All your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. We're banishing a card on summon, getting rid of the regained, which is a huge play. That is big. That's a game-winning play, getting rid of regained. We're going to be adding our Druid Swarm with the effect of the Lubellion. We got double Bestial, indestructible by battle, unaffected from monster-activated effects. How do we deal with it? Tell me. What's the way? How are we Dragon Linking our way out of this? We have Baron de Fleur, which cannot pop it. We are going to Lubellion add. People are saying Goddess. Well, I don't see Goddess in their extra. So I guess we have no out. I don't think we play Branded Beast. Branded Beast could pop it, but people are not playing Branded Beast. Imperm, I don't know. Not a lot of people are playing Imperm in their deck. Unaffected. Now, here's the catch. We also have an indestructible by battle, unaffected from monster effects, Chaos Angel. So who wins? Does it go to deck out? we have 15 cards in our deck, so it looks like we lose. Whoever has less cards in their deck is going to be the loser. Striker, Dragon, come to me. Super Poly, you think they're playing it? You think so? Let's take a gander at the Dragon Link deck type here. So we'll click on the deck type tab, Dragon Link. We Dragon Lincoln. What are the general outs? A lot of people play Branded Beast, but they're not in their decks for some reason. As you click the tournament only tab of the stats, the Branded Beast drops down in value. 88%. They happen to be the smaller percent that's not playing the out to the Chaos Angel. We're gonna spin a card from the hand back into the deck. We can triple Tactics talent, take control of it. If we look at the extra deck, none of these cards could deal with it. This is insanity. You're countered by your own card. How do you win the mirror match if a Chaos Angel gets summoned? I think it's time to put your Branded Beast back into your deck if you're not playing it, because look at this. I have no idea what's going to happen now. We're going to pay 1,000, add back a Bestial Lubellion, deck out under Max C. That seemingly is the way, the play that we're going for. Come forth, come forth. Lubellion gets search and set. Oh, we do have Branded Beast. Coco Nut doesn't have Branded Beast. Chaos Angel is outed. Uh-oh. Now, I don't have access to their deck list, so I'm going into this just like all of you. I'm making assumptions. Beast setting up the regained. Holy moly. The Branded Beast just wins the entire match. We have 0 outs to Chaos Angel. There's nothing we could do, I'm assuming. I don't know what else is in their deck. Called by the Grave, banishing the Bestial Druid Swarm, preventing it from being summoned as it's also drawing a card. Regain too powerful. Beast still activatable to pop any card in the field whenever we want, as long as we control that Lubellion, and we're doing so right now. Popping the Tracer with no monster to summon from the deck. We are making Dark. Dark is going to be reborning the Magna Hut from the graveyard. Let's look at the extra deck of Coco Nut here. There is, in fact, no out in sight. On summon, discarding the Chaos Space to be able to draw a card with it if we want to. Access the codes. 5,300 attack. Could not be destroyed by battle, but we could deal some battle damage, and we could wipe up the back row. Deal with the Beast. Deal with the Regained. And let's get some damage in. Not even an update jammer access code talker could have won here. Just one attack. So the checkmate is simply taking the Chaos Angel and putting it in D. That's it. And then you wait for the deck out, you wait for 11 turns, and it's over. I mean, do you really want to wait for a deck out when you're not sure if they're playing an out? What if there's randomly an impermanence? Randomly a Super Poly? Oh, I mean, Super Poly and Dragon Link, they can't do that because they don't got room. There's no way they're Super Poly. Bunish! From the Graveyard Wyver Burster, I do not think so, as you activate to search for a Collapsed Serpent. We're wild, and we're just flailing our arms right now at this point, just activating anything and everything. Adding back the Rocket Tracer, which we could special summon from the hand with our Boot Sector launch on turn 6. Absa Router grabbing another Rocket Tracer, but we could only summon one with the field spell. But that's okay. We're making a Hieratic Seal. Into Nibiru. Max C is a draw 2 against Nibiru. You summon itself, plus you then summon the token. The Ash is going to negate the Max C. Alrighty. Tribute! Our own access code talker. It's worth noting the Hieratic Seal could not have activated on their turn. You had to wait until the next turn in order to deal with the access code talker here. I can't believe Chaos Angel just didn't even have to go to D. Not even needed. Wiping out the Nibiru. We have 6,500 damage to the face. It is not over. 500 life. Coco Nut, I believe. Banishing 3. Ending his own misery. Wow. What a wonderful grand finale. That was very interesting. Thank you to both of you. Thank you, Coconut. Thank you, Redden. Appreciate it greatly. Now, let's get to it. Meta Weekly, week 2 of Kashtira's release. And what are we seeing? We're seeing a ton of Dragon Link. Apparently, Tearlament is struggling against Unicorn, banishing their single kick Kalos, and then they're pretty much screwed for the rest of the game. That's what I've been seeing from the duels with Tearlament, especially against Kashtira. They're the Unicorn on attack or in the activation of a monster effect. Goodbye, you're done with fusion summoning. So to compensate with that, they're gonna have to play King of the Swamp and some other nonsense. So if your deck is dependent on a single extra deck monster, and you know, some may even be dependent on a card like Zeus, which is unlimited in the TCG, that's where Kashtira will come in. Even though there's only one Kashtira in the top cut, there was a bunch of Kashtira outside the top cut, I guess knocking out Tearlament even before going into top 32. So, with that said, let's quickly go over the deck lists. Starting off at the top 16. Wait, how much am I zooming out? There we go. Top 16, Kleber with the Dragon Link, and also Tearlament's not going to do well with all of the Bystials. There's so many Bystials out running amok, and it's just banishing up the tiers right now. And then we have our Tearlament branded Marad. Marad is the way, not focusing just on Tearlament alone as their win condition. Let's scroll down so you can see the rest of the deck. Very nice. Let's hop into the Sprite deck. So many Bystials, so many counters, and now Unicorns running around. Even some decks are playing Unicorn in a non-Kashtira pure deck. We know everyone's playing Fenrir, which, this alone, let's be real. The Fenrir, if it's out on the field, they can't safely summon Kick Kalos. If they summon Kick Kalos, Fenrir banishes it face down. So Tearlament's got to rethink their strategy, because not only is Unicorn banishing themselves face down, but so is Fenrir, which the Crime cannot grab the Fenrir back. The Kick Kalos banished Fenrir by Fenrir because it's face down. So that is devastating. Let's keep on going. Snitrox. All right. So Tears messed up by Unicorn, Fenrir, Bystial in every deck. It's just annoying to get countered all day. And Fictinium, even the Cupcakes. Cupcakes with some Fenrir banishing Kick Cal face down. It's too much to handle. All right, good job. Moving on, FUGB 18. This is MathMech with all of the Bystials running around. It's surprising that you did this well, but good job. All right. Fenrir is bringing out MathMech players. What is going on? Main deck anti-spell fragrance. Okay, interesting. LMT with the Rikka deck, 60 cards. All right, and here is the extra deck. Very well played. We now have Psychic with Adamancipator, 60 cards. And here is the extra. And then Jay Collin, 40 card tier, the new way to play tier with Fenrir. And Kid Cal is in big trouble when there's a Fenrir on the field. Alrighty. Vector with Kashtira Adventure. This is the way to play the deck. Very well done. You're less consistently going to be locking people up with the Shangri and the Diablosis, but your deck is just going to be better. Now we have Branded Dango. 60. What are all these 60 card deck players? What is going on? Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. And there is the extra deck. And then we have Scarred Black. Again, MathMech and Sky Striker with Bystials running around. Quite interesting. So good job, Scarred Black. And here's the extra. Expect the unexpected. And then Coco Nut with a 40 card Dragon Link. And here is the extra deck. And then Red and Jude 10. 43 cards. The big part of Dragon Link now is Chaos Angel. If you don't have an out to it, you're in trouble. And that even came up during the finals, as you saw, that couldn't out to the Chaos Angel, and that was an easy win. So good job to everyone. Thank you all. And yeah, MathMech being up there is very interesting. Okay, well, thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe to keep on supporting so we keep on uploading. Let's go.